G'day, welcome back. So in this episode, it's a bit of an update really. It's just going to follow up on where the engine's at, where the gearbox is at, and I'm going to repair the radiator support. All right, so you've seen this before. I have spoken about this before. This is the radiator support, and as you know, they tend to rust. Well, you may not know, but they tend to rust down here, down the bottom, quite badly. And the part to replace this is around about $400 for the WB and about $160 for the HQ to HZ, which is slightly different. It's actually narrower, comes to about here because I bought one, tried to fit it, thinking it was going to be cheaper, and it actually doesn't fit. The WB comes with this backing plate for some unknown reason and is double the price. So I thought I don't particularly want to spend $400 on that when these, you can buy the whole thing secondhand for about that. So I'm just going to repair it the hard way. I've already started here, and it's very thin metal along there. So it's basically, you know, going to have to replace the whole section bit by bit, which is tedious and laborious work, but it'll get it done, and then I won't have to think about it again. So yeah, I'll finish it with the KBS rust seal. I've only got a little tin there in the satin. Decided to go black and not color code it, just a little bit easier, and save the good stuff. And yeah, once I've done that, then I can get back into the doors and the panels. Got some more body filler. They run out of platinum. I just can't wait till this shortage of everything finishes. It's just a pain in the ass. But this stuff I got from Perro's is as good apparently as the platinum 3M platinum stuff. Didn't really want to change brands halfway through a job, but you know, so be it. That's all I could get. Yeah, I've just got for the buffing and stuff, I've just got, once again, Perro's have come through with the goods for me. I can't rate them enough, those guys. They always help me to no end. And their little store at the front's tiny. You think they don't have anything, but they've got a massive area at the back that has got everything. So I've just got some 1500 pads and some 2000. I'm just going to try everything out. Just some, you know, some flat pads without the holes in it, because I found those holes create swirl marks. And I've also got this 3000 backing pad, which is similar to that 3M, the 3M pads, but literally a quarter of the price. I think they were about $15 to $18 each for the 3Ms, and these were about $2 or $3. So exactly the same, really. So anyway, yeah, I've actually just realised that I don't have the 1200 that he suggested, but do it by hand and not do the orbital straight off the bat, just until you get a feel for it, because yeah, even though it's a very, very fine grit, he reckons you can buy it through pretty quick. So I haven't got any, but I might just use this and wrap it around and start off by hand and get a feel for it. I was using that tailgate metal for most of those joins, but the bigger ones, I saw this old fan that I've got. I was going to throw it out, and I thought, oh, it's got some nice steel blades on it with already a pre-folded area. So always look around what you got, because yeah, this will end up being in a ute now. So that's done. All the pinholes, everything's been cut out, and I've checked. It's all solid metal remaining. Managed to avoid having to cut out any of these holes here, and especially the welded nut in there, so it's all lined up as factory. It's a little bit rough, but I'm just going to run over it now with some filler, just because it would be nice to just get it nice and neat. So I'll just tidy up any undulation and any weld marks and stuff like that. So give it a quick sand back, then I'll give it a prime. And then I'm going to run over it with some rust seal. So yeah, that's a satin finish, and that'll be it. So big exercise to try and finish something that, or try and fix something that's not going to be really seen at all. It would be nice if you could buy these whole things, because you can buy these whole rad supports for the HQ, I think, but you can't buy them for the WB. So anyway, I am going to get into a bit of body filler work now, and then we'll hopefully be ready for primer and paint. All right, it's finally time to drag out the transmission. So there she is. Turbo 350, I am told. So yeah, I've decided to go with Paul Rogers. He's out near Bacchus Marsh. And essentially I'm just going to rebuild it, get a new sprag in it, or an upgraded sprag component. Basically just go through, tighten everything up, get better clutches, and make everything ready for 450 horsepower. So I'm not going to have a fully manualized gearbox or anything like that. It's still going to be the same standard function going through into drive and then up gears that way. But it'll just be built strong and capable and refurbed to that kind of horsepower. So Paul Rogers is obviously, if people don't know, he is renowned for in the area for doing sort of drag, high performance transmissions. So this should be a walk in the park for him. And a lot of people are under the impression that he's more expensive because of that. But yeah, his quote actually came in cheaper than all the others that I'd got quoted for, including the sprag. A lot of people quote and then don't include that sprag upgrade, which it adds another $900. So it brings it above sort of $3,000. It's not a cheap exercise considering you're supplying the box. So yeah, if you're looking at a box, you know, Turbo 350s are going for anything from $2,000 to $2,500 now. And that's just for one that's probably, you know, hasn't been refurbed. You can get ones that have been refurbed for about $3,500 to $4,500, depending on what kind of stage kit they've got in it. So I'm going to be putting a stage 2 shift kit in it, and that's not actually including the torque converter either. So you're going to need a high performance or a reasonably high stall converter, probably 3,000 stall converter in this, and you need a high quality one. As you know, as you work your way up in componentry and quality, you've got to keep that sort of train going. So you can't just put a shitty converter in there and have everything else high performance, because it'll end up being the weak point. So yeah, it's a bit of an investment. So you're looking at, you know, say you got a box, you're looking at about just under $3,000 for, you know, just a refurb. If you want to get a stage kit, it'll give you a stage 2 shift kit, tighten everything up. If you want to go more than that, fully manualized, stage 3 or whatever the options are after that, then you're looking at $3,000 plus, you know, getting up to sort of 4. That will give the ability to then handle huge horsepower, you know, probably 700 horsepower plus kind of cars. But for for my situation, 450 horsepower, the old standard refurb is fine enough. These boxes were good enough to go up to 600 horsepower with good componentry in them, I've told. So, and that's why they're still pretty popular. All right, so that's enough of that. So we'll just load her up now. I'm going to get the engine crane. I could probably lift it, but the old back isn't the way it used to be anymore. So just get the engine crane, lift her up, strap it down, and off we go. All right, so that's it. So you can see, just with a bit of blood, sweat and tears, you can save some of these radiator supports. If you've got $400 and you want to go and get that rare spares panel, then by all means go and do it. But common sense would probably prevail, and yeah, just with a bit of time and effort, you can fix it up and put it back on the car. So just a further update on the engine, hoping to get it dynoed probably in the start of August. So that'll be good. I've spoken to Paul Rogers. I've obviously dropped the gearbox off. It's over there. There's a bit of a wait, as I mentioned, 3 months. Being it's not a hugely complicated reco on the gearbox, hopefully might be able to get done sooner. So as soon as I get the dyno sheet from the dyno session with Tony, I will send that over to Paul Rogers, and then we can sort of figure out exactly what stall converter will be required for 450, 460 horsepower. If you haven't already gone onto the merch store, go and have a look at the hoodies and the t-shirts on there. I'll put the link below. It helps out the channel and you know, make sure that I can produce more content like this. And also, if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. It helps out again with the channel. More subscriptions, more the algorithm kicks in and helps me generate more content. So thanks again, and I'll see you hopefully a little bit earlier in the month next time. See ya.